Sorry. Well, okay, when we first started, we knew that we didn't want debt, and we had always lived our lives without debt, without credit card debts, without car loans, without house loans, everything. And all my husband had was $7,000. This was the option. This was $5,000 for us to get, and then we knew we had to make repairs. We did minimal repairs when we first got it. Now it's been 5 years. We're finally stable. My husband makes more income, so we just slowly waited till we were able to do projects. And last year, this cabinet used to be all out right here in the opening, and it was just taking up so much space where we couldn't really live. So we took all of that out, and then he just built these new ones. And it's just really simplified our life, where we barely have any, I mean, I have a few items in there. I keep most of my stuff in boxes because it's just easier to keep it neat. That's one thing I figured out later on, is just you can stack it better if it stays in its box. And then just more little storage area for kitchen stuff. And this is my little food pantry. On this side, I keep most of my foods. And these dishes are the main ones that I use all the time, and that's pretty much it. I've got 2 plates for me and my husband and 2 plates for the kids, and then 2 bowls, and then I can use like storage bowls if we need more. This is a propane. We just got propane just a couple months ago. And the one thing that I would do different about this is we didn't realize that the eyes were so close together, so I can't put 2 big pans on this. So the one thing I would do different is make 2-eye but a little bit bigger. But the 2-eye burner is more than sufficient to meet our needs and being able to cook. We went to propane. We filled it one time. I think it was like $200, maybe $300. We won't have to fill it again for 6 years. So if anything was to happen, we'd still have propane for 6 years. And then even if that, we can unhook it and just get a propane tank and hook to. This is a Berkey filter. We have the filters in it, but instead of spending $350 on the whole cute little tiny system, we can actually get more water because it's 5 gallons. And then we just use the plastic buckets. And then we we just figured out about a year ago, we use more freezer space. Not right now, I gotta go grocery shopping, but we use more freezer space than we do refrigerator space. So we went to a mini fridge and got a stand-up freezer so that we could stack them instead of it being all in our way. And then these are the rest of the dishes that we use as far as the silverware and stuff like that.
And then you said that you do a lot of repurposing. And so the dishes...
Yes. Well, okay. These dishes I just found on the side of the road a few months ago, and I thought these would be great if we had company over. Because that's one thing I was lacking, and I just feel like it's a little bit of a waste to constantly go out and buy paper plates all the time. I'm always ready for company if anyone shows up. And mason jars work because I break dishes a lot and they're really sturdy, so like they stay together. This table, we live in a military town. Someone was moving and getting rid of it. We got to finish the chairs, but they gave us this table. It used to all look this color. My husband redid this, and then just last week I actually made this a chalkboard. This is the leaf, so if I don't want this here, I can pull the leaf down, put the table together, and you just have a nice brown country table, and that kind of hides where the kids are drawing all over the place. This is actually a picture frame that I found at the Goodwill for about $15, and I just spray painted it chalkboard. So had a nice little chalkboard thing. That was given to us by a friend who didn't need it anymore, and that the yoke there was actually $3 from someone they found at a moose lodge, and they were like, I'm not going to use this, so I gave them $3 for that. And my husband found the 2-man saw a couple years ago, and it had been sitting in the shed, so a few months ago he painted it up and we threw it up on the wall because it gives a nice touch to the house. The flooring we found off of Craigslist. The value for the flooring that we got was about $1,500, but we paid $300 because it was someone who was in the flooring business and they didn't need it anymore, so they threw it up, so we paid $300. And this is great about the living small, is we're getting our dining room, our living room, hallway, and the laundry room all done for $300. And we started I think last Thursday, so about a week, and that's with my husband having to work a full-time job among other things that we're doing. Yes, for the longest time we had I'd gotten rid of a couch that someone had gave us. It just didn't bring me joy. It was really old and ruggedy. And then I had the bed in here for my second child because we had a home birth. Well, once we put the bed back, all we had was the hope chest in here for the longest time, and I just kept waiting because I was like, I really want something that I love that matches. So I found this off of Craigslist. It was a brand new leather couch in a really nice neighborhood, and it just didn't fit in their living room, so I paid $50 for that. You don't have the nice little arms on the chairs. But it works great and functional because I can put it this way if I want to, or if I want to just kind of break up the living room a little bit. If I have guests over and we want to put a table around, I'm able to just move it like this, and this kind of like makes you feel like you're in a living room, and we can bring hook chests over, play games. And another thing, talking about things I found off the side of the road. I was taking a walk a couple of months ago, and a lady was walking these out to her sidewalk. She didn't want them anymore.
Oh, they're perfect.
And it was like perfect for having company over, a nice fold away chair. And it looks nice, it's not ruggedy. So that's another nice thing about that. And then the desk, my mom didn't need anymore. She sold stuff, so we just made it as a standing desk so we don't sit anymore. Like, I don't know if you've heard.
So your lymph is happier?
Yes. If you've heard the saying, like sitting is the new smoking, so like I'm constantly trying to like stand as much as we can. So even editing videos, we stand and do that. I'll move this out of the way. The only toy that's allowed in here from my children is this kitchen, and I allow their books to be right here. And even in the kitchen, they have very little items, as you can see, because I tried letting them have like a full set, and it was just so crazy. They couldn't clean it up in
And they don't
just a
play
few,
with
No, they don't play with all. They played with like 2 little things.
Yeah.
So I gave them a little bit, and they play with every single toy they have because they only have a little bit. But this is just for this area. It's kind of all pulled away because they're still working on the flooring. But that kind of keeps me at peace because kids like to be under your feet. So if I'm right here editing a video, they're allowed to play right there. The hub chest right now.
Toolbox.
Yeah. The hub chest right now would normally be used for like games and linens and stuff, but it's become the toolbox because we're constantly working. So this has been a nice hideaway place for me to not be stressed with my husband about his tools all over the place. So, and I know where I need to put stuff. So anytime I see a tool, it's in the hub chest over here.
And so the end goal here is that you will be debt free.
Yes, yeah, so we've always been debt free, and we bought property with our taxes money. We went in with a friend, it was foreclosure. So for 3 acres, we paid $5,000. We've had it for about 2 years now, and the goal is to get there this year, hopefully before the end of the summer, at least not past 2017. So we're working on getting it up to code for now. And we'll get out to the property, and we want to start a homestead. We're trying to start small right now, just kind of experimenting with what we're doing. But we are going to have to get a loan, about $25,000 loan. But we're looking at paying it off between 2 to 3 years, but no more than 3 years. And we've waited. My husband finally like just built up in work, because before it was like he barely had any pay. And we were just kind of living paycheck to paycheck, but we've always done envelope budgeting as best as we could. So everything we pay for is pretty much cash, besides a few bills here and there. And that's really helped let us see where our money goes. So when we get the debt, it'll just be trying to pay it off as quickly as can now that he's at a higher pay raise. Okay, right here there used to be a furnace. Well, I guess I can come on this side. There's an old heating furnace. Right now we're just some more of my husband's tools. We have to rip all of that out because it was old, it wasn't gonna work anymore. And to pass a code inspection, because the trailer is so old, you cannot have portable heating. We sent some different things to the guy, and not only that, it has to have ventilation outside. So the guy told us we could get a wood stove, which sounds insane in a trailer, but that's what he said that we were allowed to have. So we're gonna have to come into this wall just a little bit so there's enough room, and my husband's gonna prep up the work. We're gonna probably start that next month for the wood stove, and that'll eat into the kids' room. But as you see, my kids are outside right now, and that's where we kind of focus. All the entertainment is on the outdoors, so that we're not constantly inside, and it just kind of causes stress, you know?
Right. Because I think that's really important. A lot of people worry, will there be a happy amount of space for my kids?
All right, so this is the kids' room. We still got some work to do in here. We had caulked it up. We've got to go over and paint. For the bed, a friend gave me this bed. Leah, my daughter, we just pull out a mattress and we make it every night, so I just store it in there. Eventually, though, we want to get bunk beds for them because that would be more efficient having everything on floor. These are their drawers. These right here, this is Landon's stuff when he gets older. And then Leah, she just has underwear and leggings, and then same for Lawson, underwear and some shorts. And in their closet, we just do just some of their hanging stuff and all of their bedding. And they have play shoes and town shoes, and that's it. And then just a little bit of storage. Their stuffed animals, a couple of books, a car case. That's a toy that I've kept for Landon. And then the rule is if all your toys go over this basket, then we need to get rid of some. So if it can't fit in there, besides like a big item like that, then it has to go. Now we just decluttered yesterday because my son's having a birthday tomorrow and I know he's getting new toys. So he was excited to get rid of some because he's getting new ones. So that was something he was actually looking forward to. And this has been really functional to just let them hang out with. And again, I said they have another toy in the living room if they want to come hang out with me, but all of these toys stay in here. So.
Well, and we found with our kids that the more toys they had, the less they actually played with them. It was like they didn't.
Yes.
I know you can't have a relationship with a thing, but when there's so many, there's a little less creativity and more just like holding on to things just for the sake of holding on to it.
Yes. Well, and the other thing was he couldn't clean his room in 5 minutes, and that's a big deal for me. If you can't clean your room in just 4 to 5 minutes, then you have got to get rid of toys. And it was too stressful for him. He was exhausted, and it was like overwhelming in his head. So it's like doing this, it actually lowers your kids' stress level because they know it only takes a few times just to pick up. And we have resets. So I'm like, reset, let's clean everything up, and then you can play some more. And that's really helped a lot. And there's a statistic out there, I can't remember how much, but I want to say it was like 400 toys, 300 to 400 toys that the average American child has, and they only play with about 12 daily. That's it. So
you have your favorites.
Yes, keep your favorites. This is the laundry area. This is something that I just bought. I need to experiment with. I wanted to use this on cloth diapers. And then all the rest is kind of the storage that I use. Our dehydrator. The washer and dryer is out right now because we're finishing the flooring right here, but we're going to be repainting and putting that equipment back. This is kind of the game closet. We got to put a door back on this. He took it off. We're trying to fix it up and paint everything. And this is the bathroom. This is one area that was kind of shocking to us. We didn't like how they added more room to the bathroom. We actually wish it was a little bit smaller and put more room to the bedrooms, but it's functional, just a regular bath. This cabinet my husband found in a dumpster at his work, so he brought it home, and it doesn't have a drawer, but it's functional. It works really well. We've got to finish up all this, add a new sink. As far as the stuff that I use, we just keep a little bit of soap or Q-tips or toothbrushes. We don't do a lot of equipment. And then the laundry, this is all of my husband's work clothes. Everything goes in here, and that helps me know that he needs clothing, as I can see that it's high. And then our towels, our sheets, our weekly garments, and all of the children's clothing goes right there. So, and then I even use, like the bath, I'll use as storage, because why not? So like I'll put a drying rack in here, and our mop and the Swiffer and stuff like that. Okay, so in our bedroom, this used to be in the living room, but it was not supplying the need that we need as far as heat. This is only for 200 square foot, so we brought it in the bedroom and it works perfect. My husband built this out of old pallets. He also used the same pallets to make the compost bins, but these were $2 out of feed seed. So he did that to stand the guns up. This is our little bed. We've had this since we've been married. We co-sleep, so I found this off of a resale site for $5, and this just makes me feel secure that if the baby gets over here, he's not going to fall. This is my little desk area for sewing, and I also keep the school books here. This is usually on the wash machine, but since it's out, it's here. This is my craft, my stationery, and all the cords and stuff that we have for all of our equipment. These are my town bags that I just keep right there, the sewing machine, and then I keep all of my fabric and stuff in here. And that's another rule for even myself, is that if it goes above this, then I have to declutter and get out. I need to use what I have. This is my little medicine cabinet. It worked to be in here because of having the kids in here. So I'll keep my oils and different things to make stuff. Over here, I don't know why they did this. We got to finish painting here. But for some reason, the closets were separate. So what we did was, we got some metal wire shelves for my husband. That's where he keeps his ammo boxes. This is the one area I feel like I'm a little bit more minimalist than my husband. It's like he has all of that equipment. This is his work uniforms, so he does have a little bit more clothing because of his uniforms. And then on this side is all of his town and his church stuff. And this is our bookshelf. It has the all fit up here, and we only have books that we actually read or that we know that we're going to learn from in months to come. And then this is my closet. We do all share the same dresser and stuff, but I just keep a couple of coats and cardigans and then a couple of skirts and some church dresses, and that's all I need for that. Oh yeah, so under the bed I just keep my shoes. These are just my town flats. These I throw on when I'm just running outdoor chores. This is more for like heavy work. These are my exercise shoes and then church shoes, and that's it for that. And then my husband's got more, like these are my pregnancy winter clothes, and I also stored my hangers away because I know I'll need those when I pull them back out. My husband built these stairs just a few weeks ago.
They're pretty.
Yeah, very sturdy, real nice.
Okay, so first of all, this whole thing right here is a grand experiment because really the conditions aren't great here. There's trees all over the place. Our yard gets maybe 3 hours of sunlight a day, so it's not ideal for growing, but we're learning how to garden, what to do properly, you know, and all those kind of things. And then when we finally get to our property, we'll actually have the conditions that will hopefully give us good yields. Most recent thing that we did is we're learning how to compost. And right here I've got 3 little stalls for the compost to keep our dog out of it, number one, and being able to keep the dog out of it and leave the dog in the yard also keeps cats and other things out of the yard. Because the dog keeps the cats out of the yard, stalls keep the dog out of the compost because she loves compost. But
that is so awesome. And
so the door, you know, shorten the legs a little bit.
Yeah.
And put the door together. It's not completely square, but it's pretty close.
It's good enough.
And the sheet metal really helped with holding it together. It had no strength to it, but the sheet metal on it really strengthened everything. And then found a free satellite dish off of Craigslist and used it for.
I love it.